Could the future of the Chicago Bears be as bright as it is uncertain after their tie against the Dolphins? The preseason opener showcased some rising stars and notable disappointments, shaking the emotional foundations for fans dreaming of the next Super Bowl title. One name stood out amongst the chaos: Austin Booker. He wasn't just playing. He was dominant on the field with 6 tackles, 3 sacks, and a forced fumble. This kid's raw talent ignites memories of past defensive greats like Butkus and Ehrlicher. The question looms: is this the man who will bolster a defensive line that has been desperate for playmakers? But here's the twist while Booker shines. We need to ask, can he do it against starting offensive tackles when the games count? And where does that lead the likes of Robinson and Dante Sweat? Each play reshapes the narrative of the Bears' defensive strategy this season. Meanwhile, let's not ignore Luther Burton III, another potential gem. His smooth route running and ability to find soft spots on third down speak volumes. Who doesn't want a reliable weapon like him, reminiscent of the clutch moments we've seen over the years? But is it enough to elevate him above a crowded receiver room stacked with DJ Moore and Romo Duns? Talk about pressure to perform his next opportunity could either solidify his role or expose him in the depth chart. And speaking of quarterbacks, Case Keenum displayed steady poise. 80 yards, 2 touchdowns, crisp decisions. But what does that mean for Tyson Bagent, who delivered? More mixed highs and lows? It raises an urgent question. Could Keenum be the steady hand the Bears need come week 1? Or is this merely a mirage while the real battle brews between the two? The preseason isn't just practice. It's a crucible for those fighting for spot, and Bagent needs to find consistency soon. Meanwhile, Noah Sue is quietly emerging as a name to watch alongside Booker. His hard-hitting plays, including that explosive goal line stop, suggest he's poised to become a staple on this defense. Will he cement his role as the third linebacker? Or are we merely projecting our hope onto him? The linebacker core is critical for Chicago. Remember the '85 season when defense echoed through the city. Things finally begin to collide when Jay Walker catches our eye with 3 receptions and a touchdown. But was it enough to outshine J.P. Richardson, who just couldn't find his rhythm? For every shining moment, injuries loom like storm clouds. Travis Homer and Major Burns both left the game battered and bruised. Injuries can sink a team's hopes before the season even begins. The Bears' depth chart becomes thinner with every snap loss. So where does that leave us? With glimpses of promise, but shadows of doubt lurking behind every critical position, their upcoming joint practice with the Bills looms large. Beyond the stats and highlights lies a crucial truth. This team teeters on the edge of something special or a long, hard road ahead. And as we look ahead, we must consider which players can transcend these early tests and become legends in their own right. The stage is set, and the questions are piling up. So, who really stood out in this opener? As we dissect this game, let's focus on who rose to the occasion and who faltered when it mattered most. The journey ahead could shift the fate of the knee franchise forever. Will they rise to the occasion, or will the ghosts of seasons past haunt them once again? Bears fans, the time is now. Feel that pulse racing? This is not just another season. This is the chance to rewrite our history. Let's embrace it. With every snap, every play, the clock is ticking and the stakes are rising. The ripple effects of our preseason tie against the Dolphins could reshape the very fabric of this franchise in ways we can't even fathom yet. Austin Booker has emerged as a beacon of hope, but what if he dives into the deep end and struggles against elite competition? Come regular season? That's the kind of gamble that strikes fear and excitement in equal measure. And with Luther Burton III finding his footing in a crowded receiver room, the spotlight is intense. But here's the kicker. While we celebrate these fresh faces, we can't ignore the mounting pressure on veterans like Jalen Johnson and Cole Kmet. Their experience is the backbone we need when chaos reigns on that field. And it gets even messier. Can you feel the tension building? Imagine the whispers echoing through Hollis Hall as our coaching staff navigates these pivotal decisions. When you've got Case Keenum showcasing that reliable play, how does this affect Tyson Bagent's confidence? Is the backup turned starter shuffle just an illusion, or is a real competition brewing? These internal struggles may impact game day decisions and locker room chemistry, which we've seen drastically change outcomes in seasons past. Remember 2018? We had bright hopes dashed by a missed kick amid drama. It's as if history taunts us, teasing us with what could be. The spirits of the 85 monsters of the Midway loom large over our current squad, demanding ferocity and grit, reminding us that the Chicago Bears legacy is about more than just stats. It's about heart resilience and that unmistakable Chicago grit. Picture it now. The air is thick with anticipation, and the biting lakefront wind whips around Soldier Field as we prepare for our next clash against the Bills. This joint practice will be a trial by fire, a chance to cement roles and deliver jaw-dropping performances. Will Keenum rise to the occasion, or will Bagent stake his claim? There's electric potential buzzing in the air. Can you feel it, Bears Nation? It's like the first cold gust whipping through Soldier Field before a big game, sending shivers down your spine, making you grip your coffee cup just a little tighter because you know something is about to happen. With every snap, every audible, from the line of scrimmage, every decision in the front office, we're standing at a cliff's edge. One misstep could send us spiraling into another season of bitter disappointment. But one bold leap could launch us into a glorious renaissance, one that Bears fans have been starving for since the glory days of Peyton and Ditka. Close your eyes for a second and picture it. The roar of the crowd so loud it rattles the metal under your feet. The wind cutting across the lakefront. The scoreboard ticking down as our defense clamps down like a vice and our offense finally march with authority. Could this be the year our current roster transforms from just potential into the kind of legends whose names are spoken with reverence decades from now? Names etched into Chicago lore alongside the monsters of the Midway. Stories told over beers and in family kitchens long after they've hung up their cleats. We've been here before, on the brink, feeling that rush, only to watch it fade like smoke in the wind. But something feels different now. There's a fire under this team, a raw hunger in the eyes of these players that says they're tired of being an afterthought. You can see it in the way our young guns fly to the ball, the way the veterans grit their teeth and dig deep, even when the odds are stacked. This isn't just about chasing a playoff berth. This is about reclaiming respect, about making every rival in the NFC North circle our matchup in red ink and think twice before talking trash. But let's be honest, speculation is only worth the paper it's written on until someone steps up and seizes the moment. Who's it going to be? Will our quarterback finally silence the doubters and put the city on his back? Will a breakout star emerge from the shadows, a player we barely talked about in the offseason who suddenly becomes the heartbeat of this team? Could our defense, already brimming with swagger, rise to a level so dominant it forces the league to remember who invented Smashmouth football in the first place? And let's not forget, there are moves still to be made. Front office decisions looming like storm clouds, the kind that can either bring life-giving rain or tear the roof right off the house. A trade deadline splash? A veteran signing that gives us the edge in December? These are the variables that could turn the tide, the moments where legends are born not just on the field, but in the war rooms where futures are shaped. Mark my words, something monumental is looming on the horizon. The kind of shift you don't just read about in box scores. You feel it in your gut. You hear it in the way the crowd swells before a key snap. You sense it when the air gets thick with anticipation on a Sunday afternoon. And when it hits, we'll look back and know exactly when the winds change dots. So I implore you, Bears Nation, smash that like if you're ready to ride this wild wave together. Drop a comment right now if you believe in this team's ability to turn the echoes of the past into the roars of the future. This is our moment, our shot at shaking the NFL to its core. We've waited too long. We've endured too much heartache to let this slip by without giving everything we've got. This is our time. Let's make it unforgettable.